with T1 currently holding the advantage as the reigning world champions. Doran gonna face check.
Yeah, Doran walks right into the brush there. Beishwan's waiting, and so is Knight. Doran's gonna take a lot more damage here than he would like to. Beishwan and Knight continue their chase. More rocks are flying out. Beishwan's going in. Doran nearly killed off, but he barely survived.
We start off with a very oh, Knight!
Knight, oh.
That was cheeky. Increase in Faker's favor. We don't get a chance to talk about the previous play.
Yeah, Carry is already in danger. Remember, he used his flash trying to go after Knight. Now he's already dead. Owner wants to jump in and make something else happen, but he has to flash back over the wall. As on, Elk and Beishwan continue going forward. Elk needs a bailout if he wants to survive, and he gets it! Elk stays alive! Gumayushi tries to fire back, but he's got to reload the gun. Now the curtain call's open on sidestepping three. The fourth can't hit Beishwan, but the dancing grenade dances on his grave. BLG up 3-1.
Do not want to give this up without a fight.
Owner jumps in, immediately goes for the stun on the Knight. Carry with a bomb blossom onto three, but the backup damage isn't quite there. Owner's going to be chased away next. The deadly flourish doesn't hit Elk. Owner's going to take a ton of damage. The bailout from Elk is not there in time. Faker shockwave finds two, and T1 get a double kill for their Orianna as Beishwan goes in for Faker, and now it's trouble for the T1 mid lane. The handshake pulls him right on back. Knight's got enough damage, and a shutdown for BLG.
Now
Few seconds remaining on that cooldown to use that to make his way into the fight, but Faker has been found out. Beishwan tackles Faker out of the decimating smash, and Owner's made his way into the fight, but he's immediately ejected by the keeper's verdict. Faker still under pressure. Decimating smash hits this time, but Ben and Beishwan don't have any damage. Ben tries to get away, but a pop blossom locks him up. A deadly flourish to follow. Hostile takeover saves Ben's life as Elk and On try to fire into Gumayushi. Elk goes forward. Gumayushi still shielded and getting away as Faker's the target for On, but Elk and On have overextended. Faker's already killed On as T1 scramble for defense, and BLG way overplay their hand. Taz here are those three Void Grubs, but Vedius, when you're this far down, you can't get to the turrets. On, forced to be saved by Elk as Doran's going to take a ton of damage in a counterattack. Nice kill for BLG, and they're about to make it two. Carrier in danger, but now Beishwan stunned up by the Pantheon, forced to flash to survive. Faker flashes forward, but he can't get the distance in time. He keeps looking for more. Owner wants to make his way in with another shockwave, finding its way onto Elk. On drops next. Gumayushi's got his number, and T1's counting bodies. Another pop blossom, another double kill of a Faker. Beishwan dies to a point-blank spear, and T1 runs the rift. Go after the Otacon, immediately ready to start this one up, as BLG know they can't afford to give an objective away when they're already this far down. Faker trying to use the ball to zone On out. Hostile takeover goes through, but it doesn't find much of anything else. Going to be zoned away now by the rest of T1 as immediately you got a problem for Doran. Beishwan takes him down. Curtain call's been opened up. Beishwan might just die here. One last shot goes through, and the fourth shot finds its mark. Now Ben trying to steal away the Otacon, but it's not going to matter. Doran and Beishwan have been traded, but everybody else is still alive. Faker claims the Otacon, and T1 get the objective as they look potentially for more of a fight. Carrier thinking about a tangle barb here, but he can't get the range in time. Ben still here on the front line, gets caught by the tangle barb. Carrier knocked into the unraveled earth, but he stays alive for now. Owner steps forward with a shield, not quite enough damage. Shut down from Elk, but Faker takes out two. T1 unrelenting as Carrier kills Knight over the wall, and only Ben is left standing. Gumayushi fires another shot, but it's a triple kill for Faker to seal the deal. Okay, he will at least be able to escape for now, but the enemy jungler's at 10% HP, and he has to recall. T1 sees the green light to go for the Baron.
Exactly that, Flowers. It's too difficult for BLG to contest this objective. They're still going to try, though. The TP comes through from Knight.
It's a full send from BLG, perhaps, as Carrier goes in. He finds the pop blossom for the BLG mid laner, and Knight is already dead as the fight starts. Ben's made his way into the back, but Faker will not be threatened by a Scion alone. Owner continues pressing forward, and Gumayushi puts the kill shot into On. Beishwan's the next to fall, and Doran buries him. T1 with a Baron plus 3 kills will force their way into the base. Elk continues fighting and kiting and trying to get away. The deadly flourish doesn't connect, but it gives them an first game.
Gumayushi involved in 20 of the team's 22 kills, has the Nexus in his eyes, and is looking to close things out.
The Nexus turrets are nothing but a formality. Bin's health bar, the same thing as T1. It was close for about 10 minutes, and then it was not ever again in this first one. T1 takes game one. Drops the combo there on Faker, but now Doran launching out the Ornhorn. Beishwan could be in a little bit of danger, but Bin's here ready to back him up. The equalizer's already been used. Doran very low, about to die. It's first blood over to Knight and BLG.
An ambitious commitment from Doran.
So the extra pushing power they have now could build itself into a lot of extra gold if they can knock down a bunch of these plates. And that's going to start up here in the top lane. Doran's the target as it's a four-man dive onto the T1 top laner. And Doran dies before the second part of the Ornhorn can come through. Beishwan's low, but close isn't good enough for the T1 top. And upgraded E, and he's got the Rod of Ages already fully completed and stacking. The only additional item past his starter item he got was the refillable potion, but now he has to flash away. Beishwan's ready to follow. Bin's got the follow-up. The turret ain't even dead yet. Oner and Faker wanted to commit for the objective. They'll get it, but at great cost. Turret to T1, double kill over to BLG as Carry and Gumayushi trying to make a play on the Knight, but he's already back to safety. Entire gold lead, Vedius, is the top lane difference between Bin and Doran. So if I'm looking at T1, I'm looking at, can they find a fight where Bin's not very effective? And if I'm looking at BLG, I'm saying we've got to get value out of our equalizers if we want to make sure we're continuing to win these fights. The Rift Herald is summoned up mid lane, but the tier 1 turret is still almost fully healthy. Herald's gonna chunk about half of it, now about to die. Oner goes in, immediately drops the Crescent Guard as he engages to make sure that BLG can't immediately burst him down. It buys T1 enough time to clear the Herald out of the way and prevent BLG from strong-arming the tier 1 turret. Now Carry and Gumayushi got to be a little bit careful. Bin's hanging out over the wall. Might be able to drop an equalizer if somebody on T1 gets low. Carry doing a nice job sidestepping away from that Mystic shot. 75 seconds until the next Drake spawns, and you can see BLG taking control of the bottom side river.
Faker, though, still very hesitant to push out that top wave. He's been left isolated a lot of this game, and you can see that resulting in the XP advantage. Now Doran caught out.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, though. Doran is only strong against magical damage. Beishwan does a lot of damage with that stick, and Knight, plenty of extra firepower to back it up there and secure the kill. 5-0 now for BLG as they get the pick on Doran.
A clean scoreline of 5-0. The TP. Oh, a double TP, actually. They're trying to collapse onto Knight or Beishwan. I don't think they're really going to get much off the back of this. Oner, though, heavily committing onto Knight.
Yeah, T1 really want to get some kind of a punish here. Knight still trying to get away when becomes lightning, slows him down. Carrier misses the winner's bite. Exhaust used to guarantee that Knight can't try to get anything back. Slows him down enough. Shut down over to Faker. 18 minutes and 51 seconds into the game. T1 gets their first kill.
Go contesting this dragon at all, but if they do get it, they would put themselves on Soul Point and have a lot of agency in this game. Elk, though, huge damage onto Carrier.
Carrier's already almost dead. Uses the Unbreakable to guarantee the True Shot Barrage. Doesn't have a chance of executing him there, but with Carrier barely able to stay standing, that is BLG's go signal to start up the Otacon. T1 looking to approach, but BLG is ready for him. The Otacon down to 1/3 HP. Keep your eyes on Doran. That could be the big engagement. Knight is waiting over along in the Tri-Barrage. Doran tries to fire back into him. Pressure on Bin and Doran immediately now as the Otacon's going to be stolen away by Oner. Beishwan is low. On is already down. Gumayushi with the kill. Knight has to try to run away alongside Bin as Oner kills Beishwan too. Elk has to try to get away, and Oner is on the chase. Bin and Knight trying to escape, and T1 work their magic again.
I think that the atomization is just on the right people as well. Guma and Faker have been farming exceptionally well. Faker's got a 2.5 level advantage over Knight. Knight is fishing for a pick, but Oner's there to cover.
Okay, Oner trying to protect, but Oner may just have to give his life for this. Wants to dash back over to Beishwan for safety. Oner will die, and Faker's the next target. Timbers and Beishwan charging forward as On locks up the T1 mid laner, but Faker's getting away for now. Doran with a massive Orn ulti over the top, and Knight's over the dead. Beishwan follows. BLG are buried in their hubris as they try and fail again to kill Faker.
If you're going to come at the GOAT, you best not miss. this, because the consequences of what happens when you do are massive. Using the Baron to see if they can force T1 into an awkward situation, but T1 maintain their composure. On the flank.
On's looking for it, but he immediately gets counter-engaged. On has to try to get away. Flashing out after using the crash down defensively as well, but a nice engage from Knight. Beishwan's ready to follow it up, and Faker's in danger. Again, though, he survives. Gumayushi with the kill into Beishwan, as Elk just barely survives the ace in the hole. Owner continues the chase, as On's about to die here too. Elk and Ben completely on the run. BLG utterly routed in their attempt at a fight. Ben will be able to teleport to safety alongside Elk. Yes, they won't die, but Vedius, there's 2 dead BLG players, there's 2 in retreat, and now the Baron's on the menu for T1. Owner and Gumayushi putting a little bit of DPS in there, but they're DPSing very slowly. BLG trying to walk up, seeing what they might be able to find. They're marking Doran there with the pings, but it's a line of cupcakes from Gumayushi, and it's so difficult to fight through for BLG. The Ocean Dragon is the target. On wants to find some sort of an angle, but all he gets is a face full of bullets. Doran is joined up with the rest of the team, and once again, they're going to go in. This time they find the shutdown on Faker, but it costs Beishwan's life. T1 trying to regroup. They're going to claim the Ocean Soul, but what about the rest of the fight? Doran's down to a corner. Owner jumps in on top of everybody, and Gumayushi's ready to free fire. Knight and On both drop, and there's only 2 still standing for BLG. Elk on the run, Carrier ready to chase. Winner's bite, not quite enough range, and T1 finally. Faker drops, but the cost is far too great. Carrier will get picked off by Elk on the back end of the fight, but T1 is pushing 2 lanes. T1 now with the soul, with the 4,500 gold lead, with the push here in the top lane. Doran with the call of the Forge God, and it's On called straight back into the grave yet again. Gumayushi unstoppable. T1 stepping forward behind the Braum, but they've stepped too far. They end up losing 1, but they are not done. A double for Guma, make it a triple. Caitlyn's on the hunt, she's locked and loaded. T1 on the victory march. Inhibitor down in the top lane as it's a 4-man push. Only Carrier died. Knight steps in, he goes for the engage, but he doesn't find anything. T1, they were behind for so long, but when they need to, they clutch it out. They'll take the Nexus turret. Faker steps in, Elk stays alive, the Nexus will not, and T1 go up 2-0.
Immediate response from T1 to get that very deep vision onto BLG's bot side jungle. BLG going to path back this way. Faker, he's going to spot them out.
Faker walks right into the brush. Knight with the level 1 charm finds that on Faker as Carrier goes for the headbutt to knock Elk away. But now On continuing to put the pressure on. Faker's under pressure from the Ignite. He's healing up, but the first blood goes over to BLG's mid laner.
Knight has to commit his flash, realizing that On's Ignite is the one that's likely to finish that one off. But he ends up getting that first blood. Great start for BLG, getting that punish, and now the trade in the bot lane. Guma, he expends the barrier, and BLG already off to the races here in game 3.
Yeah.
No flash, remember, on Knight.
Doran, ruthless predator.
Here?
I mean, maybe if Doran just gets really crazy, but right now he's happy to just ward the brush. Elk steps up, finds a couple of feathers there, but Doran's still just fine as Gumayushi and Carrier have now made their way up here for the response swap. Carrier using the minion to gain a little bit of extra distance with a headbutt. Wants the pulverize. Doesn't find a whole lot else, but Elk loses a bunch of health to the piercing arrow of Gumayushi, even though they don't get the full lockdown. And now, yeah, Elk going for a recall. This Xayah feels pretty far behind.
But they don't find a successful swap in the sense of getting out of this 2 versus 2. On now in a lot of danger.
Uh-oh. Carrier's going to stand in the way of it. Immediately flash, pulverize, headbutt to knock the big man back. Now with Owner showing up, there's no way out for On, and Gumayushi puts an arrow straight through him.
Owner's hovering around. The threat of a dive is real. He recognizes that he's in serious danger. Beishwan has to get over here quickly. He desperately needs this farm.
Beishwan coming around from the side. It is a one-level advantage for the Vi, but that's not going to matter. Elk gets slammed into the wall. Could have a 3v3 here. Faker thinking about rotating over. There is a Realm Warp available for the Rise. TP coming in now for BLG. They want to try to make a punish here against T1. Gumayushi and Faker using the heal from the Alistar for the extra move speed to make their disengage. Faker also walking up, not needing to use the Realm Warp just yet. Beishwan continuing the chase, but there's no ulti, no cease and desist for the Vi as Knight has the Spirit Rush. Faker's going to be caught out. Nice play from BLG, and Faker's taken down. It's a feeling that most players will never experience, but that's where we're at here. Is On just tries to get a quick snappy trade there onto Keria, but it doesn't amount into a whole lot. Headbutt Pulve trying to turn things around, but now Doran and Keria in a little bit of trouble. Cease and desist there onto the Gator. Knocked right back with the explosive cast. Doran tries to find the Ruthless Predator, but there's nothing there. Feat of Warfare claimed by Knight and BLG.
From the mid lane to the bot lane, they caught that wave in bot, and then they secured the objective as well. Oh, top side.
Once again, they're looking to put the work in on Faker and BLG. Knight is eating so good in this one. 3-0-1 on the Ahri. 0-3-0 for Faker's Rise. A 1,500 gold lead for BLG. And while T1 was making their play in the bottom side, you already touched on it. Beishwan secured the Rift Herald, so that means BLG have the opportunity to extend the gold lead even further. Now Knight could have a bit of a problem. He's already used the Spirit Rush, and now he's got to try to escape from Doran and Owner, but his flash was already spent, and Owner's ready to chase. That's a kill going over to T1 as Keria and Gumayushi are up against the remainder of BLG. Bin trying to distract Doran and Owner as now Keria is ready to jump right back into the fight. It's Faker trying to join up with the TP. He's arrived, and the cast flies out to buy some time, but it won't buy enough. Elk with a nice root there on the blade caller, but he gets pulled back. A double impale from Owner, and BLG are shattered.
BLG gets sucked into the action. We've been seeing it throughout the series, and they're looking for more.
Okay, Keria might be the target here for the BLG engage. Finds a nice three-man pulverize. Drops the unbreakable will, but they'll break him anyway. They just want to give the money over to Elk, bring him back into the game. Gumayushi not back! Beautiful play from On. Shut down for Knight. Owner with another double impale as Ben has to flash away from the turret. BLG don't lose a man, and they find two critical picks.
These are the type of plays we need to be seeing from BLG. Pick after pick. BLG fight back here in game 3.
T1 still with a 2-0 Drake lead, however, and 10 seconds until the third Drake of the game spawns. BLG do not want to give this one away for free, as T1 try to hit him with a couple of skill shots on the way through. Ward over the wall from BLG, gonna see the Drake get pulled. T1 do not want to allow it to just sit in the pit, and Beishwan is ready to try to challenge here in the Smite fight. Bin looking for the angle on the side, but Doran's ready to block him. Ward's trying to keep an eye here on the Dragon as On tries to throw a barrel out. T1 still with control over the objective, but Beishwan is in range. We could get a Smite fight. It's gonna be secured by Keria, and now the engage coming out from BLG. Doran's over the wall. He slices. He's ready to dice. T1 staying alive for now, but Doran's going to be killed here at the very start. Bin, the only one caught inside the impale, and BLG's running the fight. Keria's going to die next. He tries to get away. He flashes into the Realm Warp to survive, and now Faker, the next target. BLG are finally going to get him. Bin going for another, and Keria barely hobbles away. BLG may have lost the Drake, but they absolutely smash the fight.
Down, and there's more action back to live.
BLG looking to force down the Otacon, trying to fight their way back into the game. They secure the objective, but the fight afterwards is ready to rage. Faker with a Ruined Prison onto Bin, but Doran might drop. They peel off Bin and save the Croc. Owner looking for an approach here off to the side. Yes, T1 get back a kill, but that's a massive swing over to BLG. They've got plus a 1,000 real gold lead, but then look at the flowers. 29-6. Plus 23 flowers is about a 2,000 gold lead in that stat for BLG. Keria is looking to go in and make the dive, and On's going to be caught by the Ishtal impact. Faker flashing back, making sure he doesn't die. Elk and Knight trying to continue providing covering fire and keeping themselves alive. T1 get another kill and have to back away.
T1 can't. At the precipice of completing that death cap will give him so much damage, and we said at the beginning of this game that he needed to step up. Beishwan very low.
Yeah, Beishwan caught up by the Rune Prison there, wants to vault break his way away, but the Realm Orb's ready to catch him out. Knight immediately there to back up his jungler, and Beishwan at 8 HP walks away. He's got his Navori, quick blades. Over on the other side though, Guma with the Muramana, with the Edge of Night, with the Ghost Blade. 3 powerful items for the lethality. Varus, 10 seconds until the Mountain Soul for T1 spawns, but it's BLG with the combat stat advantage, with the slight gold lead, with control over the bot side river. As T1 grouped up, they're going for a Realm Warp. They want to just go after the Baron. They're going to try to start this up and maybe burst it down. They demand a response from BLG instead. They don't want to walk into BLG. They're going to make BLG walk into them. The Baron's already down to half HP, but BLG has arrived. What is the call from T1? They're going to disengage it, it looks like, but they're still staying aggroed onto the Baron. It's down to 4K, 3K on a Knight trying to step up. The Baron is claimed by T1. Bins into the back line, but now he's in danger. Owner looking to control the rest of the fight. T1's already found the first kill. Beishwan's here on the front line, but a massive knockup from Carrier. On is down. T1 murdering BLG. Elk, the next to fall. Knight is the only one left, but the kingdom is burning. Now with the Baron pushing up, that last sequence also earned Owner his 1,000th assist at international tournaments for his career, as T1 now going to get collapsed on, potentially. Bin with the TP wants the angle, but Owner's already found the pull. Beishwan's down, and T1's bringing in the backup. A nice blade caller from Elk, but is it enough? Doran pops the dominus, and Elk's feathers fly. Carrier and Gumayushi putting more damage into Knight, as Carrier might just die. The point-blank piercing arrow finds a little, but Gumayushi has to flash away. Elk with another kill! Beautifully done alongside Knight. Faker dominating with the kill on Bin. It's a 2-for-2 trade. Do not want to allow T1 to start DPSing another Baron, no matter how slow it might go. We know that they're not afraid of the objective. BLG, I completely agree with you, Vedius. They need to find the angles. They need to be coordinated. They need to all be playing like a machine if they want to win this next fight against the Mountain Soul. T1, keep your eyes on Faker in the Realm Warp. Nice piercing arrow from Gumayushi. On's already lost 60% HP. Doran with a potential pincer angle. BLG scattered now, split into 2 halves. Knight takes another big hit there from the piercing arrow. Realm Warp once again. It worked the first time. How about the second? On, barely at any HP. Beishwan and Knight looking to try to approach. Piercing arrow flies out. T1 still thinking about the turn. Doran's coming around from behind. The dominance flash with the Predator. Now somebody's gonna be locked up. Carrier's got the follow. It's over. It's done. T1 slam the final fight. Doran clutch again with the angle at the perfect moment.
Phenomenal, simply phenomenal from T1. Fantastic coordination. Doran leveraging the fog of war. Bin, he's trying to get a kill back, but his nexus is exposed, and T1's looking to end the game and the series.
The TP coming in as Carrier's ready to join back up with the rest of the team. BLG wanted to conquer their demons, but T1 are their nightmare. 3-0. The LCK squad works their magic again.
And LCK fans will get the matchup that they wanted. They'll go up to face Gen G in the upper bracket.